Nothing like a little despair to get the mares in the air. It's the Mare on the Air. This week with our host, Gray Hunts.
This is my ignorance.
Hey guys, this is Mare On Air. We have a handful of guests this time around. This is Gray Hunts hosting today. Looks like we have Gray Metal.
Oop.
All right, Buttercup Saiyan, BCS,
Hi.
I guess. Apollo Cheese. Let's see. Is Grok on?
Is this true?
Yes, it is true. You are on. Lilypad, welcome aboard.
Are you sure about that?
Positive. And let's see, Lieutenant Solo.
Horses, ponies, hello.
Alrighty. So, did you guys hear much about the G6 announcements and things like that?
Oh my gosh.
A lot of leaks, unfortunately confirmed true. I say unfortunately, but I think we can all agree that losing
It was
Rarity in
unfortunate how
G6 was very good.
Say it again, I'm sorry.
Rarity being left out of G6 was possibly the greatest gift that Hasbro could have given us. It's unfortunate
man.
that we also had to
Go
lose
ahead.
Applejack, but hey, you win some, you lose some.
Well, then
They
I got
actually,
With the
they
best
actually
marshmallow
said
mare, apart from best Earth Pony, I mean, come on. How could they not? AJ was prime material.
they actually
Was-
said during the panel that there might be more friends coming. So
their DLC character.
True. This is just
You
the
have to
start
buy-
of
You
the
really have
story,
to
which
chop
means they have to
characters
come
to
and
add
meet
character
their
pass.
friends.
Come on, Maine.
What
Yeah, they're
I
gonna
hear.
beat. They're gonna torture Lauren Faust for some more friends.
I
The
have
question
no
is,
idea why Lauren was there. She looked very uncomfortable during the entire podcast. Or sorry,
She
not
looked like an
podcast.
abuse
You know what I'm trying
victim.
to say here.
You know what she reminds me of?
She had like that fake smile. Like,
Well,
yeah, I'm glad
please
to be
display it.
here.
I hope her bank account wasn't comfortable. Hopefully that was fine.
Oh, I'm sure that was fine.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what she reminds me of. She reminds me of Mark Hamill when he was brought on to the new Star Wars, just seeing his legacy burned to cinders right in front of his eyes.
I see that. Oh my goodness, I see that.
What do you mean Luke Skywalker just says it's over? Come on, that's like literally the answer. It's the complete opposite of what he'd do. Come on, man.
Jedi would do.
returned.
At the end of the day, stuff like this would happen with or without Lauren. So if she gets a paycheck out of it to fund whatever new show she's working on, then hey, by all means, it's fine.
Good for her. She got something out of it and watched her cringe.
And some other
problem
people
is,
have gotten
though-
stuff out of it by the very quick response from our fan artists. Obviously, having canon pony characters, as bastardized as they are by the redesigns, that definitely drew a good deal of eyes. And yeah, if you guys got any, I'm sure we can pull up some nice fan art that won't get us banned off YouTube. So,
You know, something puzzle piece people really love is when you do redesigns, isn't it?
yeah.
I thought it
They've
was
always
making
loved it.
hybrids.
what the hell happened to Fluttershy though?
Got the McDonald's hair.
I mean, I'm not sure about her highlights of my wife. I'm not sure about that. I want to see it in action because all we have is just the one still image. But I don't mind the butterflies in the eyes. I'll admit that. The cutie marks in the eyes aren't bad, depending on how prevalent they're going to be.
And
Poor
even
girl
the
was
highlight.
mourning since the start.
I feel like the highlights do draw a bit from her
Right, the highlights
her,
are fine. If the
per
art
se
is
form from the end
anything
of
like
season 4.
yeah, if the art sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, Flutters did already get those teal highlights in her hair when she got powered up to defeat T-Rex, so I'd say it's fair game.
I think it's going to be awful. It's a real disappointment because there's so much passion, let's just say, tied up with the characters that any reboot is going to disappoint us in some way, somehow. I think Hasbro took the right choice when they did G5 of like going another direction. Now, G5 ultimately turned out to be terrible, but I think it was a smart idea to try and like go a whole different. Yeah.
I don't like this.
I'm not really excited about this.
Oh, sorry.
If the
I'm
art
gonna wait
style
and see.
matches the animation like this, I wouldn't mind because it reminds me of that LFO animation, Flower's Journey. It gives off that vibe.
That it's kind of like the Star Wars effect, how like with the prequels when they came out, everyone dogged them and hated them, and they were just like, "Oh, it's awful," this, that, and the other. And then the what were the new ones again? I've blocked that out of my memory, but those new ones came out, and then there's like, maybe we were too hard on the prequels.
I mean, is that what you? Yeah, I mean, yeah. Is that what we're gonna do? We're gonna look back at G5 after G6, and we're gonna be like, man, maybe we were too hard on G5.
No, G5 still sucked ass. The movie was all right. It landed better than the G4 movie. It didn't bastardize the setting, but that's because the setting was already kind of shat out by Imalus. If I continue down this track, I will get a span. So.
Based.
But yeah,
feels...
I do feel like G5 is not going to become magically better just because G6 seems to be heading in the way of fumbling the ball. In a pretty similar way to how G5 fumbled it, actually, with all the 9-minute shorts, all the who needs characters when you've got sweatshop animation?
I mean, how long were Smiling Friends episodes?
I don't think you can really compare Hasbro's.
I mean, it depends how slice of life are we going to be going with these like 9-minute chunks. I mean,
The original My Little Pony was
9 minutes.
long.
Why 9 minutes?
The original
Because
My
if
Little
it
Pony.
be like the animation style of LFOs, I wouldn't mind. But if it's like flash animation like before, why 9 minutes?
Well,
I
would
mean,
say
the obvious answer is alpha and zoomers. Like, come on.
What's to be done about the boomers?
The zoomers.
That I would say just overall maybe they figure they could get shorter run times, things like that. But really a lot of it I would say boils down to just declining attention spans, which has been happening for like decades at this point. It's nothing new. Maybe they're just banking in on that or what.
The irony is, like, I don't think it's entirely declining attention spans. Like, I think it's kind of like a self-reinforcing market. It's just that there's a shorter amount of, what is it with people who do YouTube? There was that thing where it's like the first like 5 or 30 seconds or something like that of your video is like the most important. And that's when most people bounce off the video. And if your video is like so short that they have no time to bounce, then like your metrics shoot up, kind of thing. When it's just like a false positive, they're not actually watching. They're just like sitting through the introduction kind of thing.
Yeah, just keep swiping, scrolling. Get on YouTube Shorts. Get that Zoomer money, I guess. Zoomer AdSense money.
I'd swipe
and
right.
it's a shame that Hasbro...
I hope it's not in portrait mode.
Oh no, that
oh no,
not really.
Oh my gosh, please, please do not portrait.
That
we love portrait ponies, but not like that.
I would see I could sort of see a little bit where it's kind of like it feels like less of a time investment, so it's probably easier to pitch it,
Easier to pitch and easier to animate so that you can I know they're saying bi-weekly, but like, I mean, who knows? Maybe they're going to be like pumping these out on the regular after a bit. Regardless, it seems like they're not dedicating as much as they would obviously for an actual show. Which I guess
we still don't know if they're dropping every 2 weeks or every week. twice.
Yeah, that was vague. That was a bit vague. I didn't really get that part.
The schedule could very well be a little loosey-goosey, a little wax and wane, depending on the metrics, depending on how each episode does. They might decide they want to trickle them out, or I hope they don't release them all at once, because nothing kills hype like that.
Ooh, that But yeah,
On an
I'm just
entire
still not
season
over.
bi-weekly, I could live with that.
Man, I'm just
I
still
mean,
not.
Hasbro kills all their hype. We get to slumber more until
How many
G7.
of you were around for the old days when like the show was being? I'm talking about especially like 2014, 2015 sort of time. How many of you were around for that?
I was
I
around
I
didn't.
for that.
was around,
Yep.
surprisingly, for that.
I was in middle
How
school.
many of you would join, would like watch it live, or would join the live streams with, or calls with other people when the episodes
That was-
came out? What was it, on Saturday? 10
That was
a.m.
primarily how I watched it. I would check for the Equestria Daily thing for the stream link and then go from there.
Oh, what the Zyro? What is it? Zyro TR1 guy?
I don't know.
I
They did all the seasons though.
Yeah, I
That's
swear
a
it was
real
that guy,
trooper.
and he had like 30 alt accounts on YouTube because he'd get a strike or something and do it. I remember that, and I can't remember, but there was one of the channels too that would do the live stream with a bunch of people on a call. That was always fun.
Yeah, that personally, I just watched it on YouTube.
Now everything's digital, man. Live in a
But-
digital age now.
Let's see.
Bro, some of the best moments were not just like, it wasn't just the episode. It was like the community around it when you were watching the episode. Like, were any of you around for the GAC? For the gackening?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like one of those kind of experiences that you shared as a community, and that's something that I think like really made the community kind of feel a lot more like a community when we could all experience something at the same time and react to it with each other. There's something beautiful in that.
Well, you can be sure the side tubes will be up when the new episodes go live. If not, I'll
Oh,
make one.
that is something that is great that we have is
We'll have
SciTube.
we'll have like the premiere, and then we can have like a side tube rewatch for everyone that didn't catch it that day.
I know the days of like Saturday morning cartoons, like back when I used to like first watch the show. I know those were like long gone even during G5 days, but I will admit there is kind of like a really sad feeling just seeing this show kind of pushed onto just a YouTube format. And I guess that is just kind of an extra little, kick to the ass, in addition to anything else potentially wrong with this new generation.
It was fun when we got to watch it on YouTube, but now that it's just on YouTube, it's not even syndicated anywhere.
Convenience after the fact, after the premiere. Now it's just the norm. Everything's there. That's the.
Yeah.
If it's not there premiering with all the streamers and the whatnot, then it's not gonna kick off. It's not gonna do well. That's what the marketers say. That's what the producers say. So what can you do?
The internet. It has made us more connected than ever, and yet more alone.
Yeah, because of that
Atomization.
connection, we have shared a lot of stuff with each other that we have the immediate access or instant gratification.
You hear that word a lot. But yeah, not that it's not valid, but I just hear it a lot.
The instant gratification of having your plot resolved in 10 minutes.
Speaking on the topic, do we know? I don't suppose anybody here knows of any plans to do like a live stream or something like with SciTube for when it premieres. Are there any expectations of that? Any?
I'm sure
mumblings?
someone will set something up. It being on YouTube, it would be trivially easy to just have a watch along there.
Yeah, I think that should be something that we should really be.
They can make it
that'd be a great event.
I don't think we even know when it premieres yet.
No, we don't. We
They
don't.
can start a premiere though.
In
They
due
can,
time.
Like, right.
Oh, you know, it'd be awesome if
What's
right after the Annie rewatch is when it premieres. It would be absolutely amazing.
Early 2027.
Like, we're all in this together. You know, we're all getting through all the episodes, and we all get ready.
Yeah, hold up.
And
Pause. OBS is being retarded again. I think we were disconnected for a few seconds. Back in.
We have time for a few
This is why
slurs.
we record our whole podcast.
Nope, it is. Everything's back up and running. Proceed.
Yes, Chris.
Yeah, no. Anyways, as I was saying, just like we do that, and then we pile right into G6, good or bad. Now, the interesting question would be, should they also play G5?
I think they already do.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, I know it's going to be a hot topic.
Well, they're probably going to have a lot of merch there, too. But, let's see. Sorry, I just forgot to grab
Bring
one
back Tell
thing.
Your Tale. I wouldn't mind getting. They were getting better until Cox pulled the plug. That's my opinion.
G5?
If you want. Man, I ruined it.
Yeah. Let's see.
I didn't like the move to the very short episodes.
Yeah, short format is suboptimal.
It was
Less
what,
than
5
ideal.
minutes long? For G5. Make your mark. Tell your tale or whatever.
Yeah, Tell Your Tale, yeah.
I still get the two confused. That that was a weird titling on that.
Make Your Mark is the 3D one.
Okay, I've seen a handful of both, and I feel like I should probably. I mean, now that G6 is in the pipeline, I should probably expedite my watch of that. It never really gripped me.
They'll probably retcon it anyway, if they even bother to acknowledge G5 in future.
There was rumors about that potentially.
Yeah, there was the whole idea of Camp Friendship having some G4 characters and some G5 ones. But I don't think I've seen any G5 characters in the G6 leaks or announcements. So if they are reworking the same script, they seem to have reworked all those G5 characters right out, which I say full props, good on you. Maybe you can work some good G4 characters back in too.
One of the leaks said there was 2 minties. That was the only one that got my attention.
2 minties.
2.
Like a G1 minty
like
and a G4
sources of 4chan posts. So
the most reliable.
It could be. Yeah, it's a toss up. It's either all entirely true or completely just attached to nothing. It's like no in between.
A live action movie.
Are we even getting a live action movie, or is that just something that they kind of just put in, like, farted out in the air to test the waters?
I forgot.
Yeah, well, there was talks about it before.
I feel like it's not completely outside the realm of possibility, but at the same time, I feel like Hasbro is not going to divert that much attention to like a whole big movie production unless they're like really going to half-ass it. But like, if that's the case, then I mean, surely it wouldn't just be like farted out on Netflix all of a sudden. But then again, I don't know.
Yeah,
it really kind of sucks. But like, you know, it says the boys line, like the Transformers and stuff, man, just dumping money into that, no matter how just terrible it is. But like, you know, the stuff like MLP, they won't, despite having a dedicated fan base, they won't give one iota of a shit for it.
I mean,
But,
I mean, there's been like recent Hasbro, like Hasbro is into the movies as of late. There was what you call it. There's going to be a new Transformers. There's going to be a new GI Joe. Like they're putting some effort into that. The question is just how much attention are they going to put into the ponies?
well, they probably might outsource some of it, to get some of the work there,
Just give it all.
I mean,
to
why
China.
do we think it is that they'll put so much money into things like Transformers? And I'm going to assume that they're going to put a lot of money into like the GI Joe stuff, but yet they don't really do Pony. They don't go as hard on Pony.
Well, for a combination of reasons, I'd imagine. One of them is just about anybody can watch like a Transformers movie or a GI Joe. General audiences are generally more receptive to it. The brony phenomena is a bit cringe by comparison, and then there's also the girls who would, enjoy that. But I think it's kind of one of those things where it's like you got to bet where you can get the more general audience. Like everybody's going to see a GI Joe movie or something like that,
Not
just
me.
about everybody. Although we are something of an outlier, so but I would say a lot of people who are also bronies might consider watching the GI Joe movie, but a lot of the people who are like more into GI Joe probably are not going to watch the Pony movie though. So economically, it probably just makes more sense to invest in those. But we're still getting a movie.
There was a Dungeons and Dragons movie not long ago. There was a He-Man movie that just came out this year, which I know isn't.
Yeah, Hasbro's doing good jobs on that.
The point is, studios are focusing on like nostalgia stuff. So who knows? Maybe eventually ponies will come up in the pipeline.
Absolutely. I mean, we're already getting a movie in 2027. Then there's the series they were going to do that.
I'll believe it, but I think it could come. Yeah,
It might be delayed.
Delayed or not, I mean,
we
it's
got
still
G6
coming.
before whatever that
GTA 6.
Yeah, GTA 6.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if they're ever going to be able to deliver on the expectations built around that. People have been expecting a sixth one or like them to be working on it since like 2017, 2018. Like there's been videos that are like, hey guys, it's just released that they're working on GTA 6 or whatever. And it's like all of that hype generated over a decade. Think about it. GTA 5 came out in like fucking 2013. And then
it'll be profitable for them because like GTA Online makes like about as much revenue as like a small third world nation or something. So if they,
little off topic.
I'm sure they'll get something out of it.
We are, but we will circle back though. But with that, it's like with the amount of hype generated on something like that,
that's
really impossible to deliver on that. But anyway.
Any nays?
Yeah, any nay, actually. Yeah. Beat me to it.
Any nay.
That, but yeah, I would say definitely Hasbro's been, hitting a lot of their stuff. They're actually been doing a lot of releases. So, I think we're definitely going to have some income put towards ponies because, well, the parent company, they're really pushing out. Like my buddy was talking about that He-Man movie. He was saying the fight scenes were insane. I've yet to see it. I'll have to watch it at some point, but with that kind of cash infusion, they could really start pushing some projects. So, by extension, I think we're going to get some more horsey stuff.
The fact that they brought Lauren Faust on is probably a really good sign.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think they just did it as a publicity stunt.
Yeah.
That's just my theory on that.
It could mean nothing or it could be everything, and there is no way of knowing until, well, later, not now.
I mean, think of it this way. They spent the money to have her show up in the first place. That says something right there.
At the same time, though, how expensive is Lauren right now? That's a question. I
It
feel.
doesn't matter. It just like my point is that like
I think her
they
value.
they took like the 5 minutes out of their busy workday of doing cocaine to think about what people would be interested in, and
What the
maybe
bro-
Google searched what bronies might pique their attention.
It's a
What might activate their
It's a fair
neurons.
point. I just who knows what's going to come out of it, because from that interview, I don't even think she like said a peep out of it. I think
Oh
she
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah. It doesn't mean a ton for what it'll actually. Well, it says like a little bit. It says
A little.
that they have paid attention in the slightest degree to the fan. The fact that they're not doing a complete brand refresh like they seem to do all the time. You know, like look at the difference between G1 and like G2 and 3, and just they seem radically different every time. You know what I mean?
Was a Twilight Sparkle in G1 or G2. I forgot which one.
Yeah, but like nothing the same. They're using darn near the
Exactly.
same character design, and they've been doing. They did that for G5. They showed literally Twilight Sparkle as we know her in there, and they're going to show her again in this. Not only that, they're going to show 2 other characters. I mean, the fact that they are like continuing to hold on to this means that they recognize that they have something. They probably are recognizing, you know, our interest to some degree, but they just don't know how far they want to go into it. Is what I'm going to guess.
They're well aware of the fact that they struck gold, even if part of it was due to just miraculous chance, and they are well aware that their subsequent efforts with G5 were not even half as effective. So they're scrambling to whatever they have, which, as of right now, are the old cast, a Lauren cameo, and well, we'll see what else.
Yeah, the thing
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
they already butchered their golden goose. So they're kind of trying to stitch it back together, and
Yeah, they got a long
time will
way
tell
to
if that's
go.
successful.
I think
they're at
we
least
were just
trying.
surprised that G5 was actually a continuation of G4. It just took us by surprise, and then we just automatically sought out for everything like it was the same show. It genuinely confused us.
Okay, so here's the big question that I don't know if anybody has asked yet. So, the first part is, do you think that this will cause people who have left the fandom and, let's say, gone on to other communities to come back to the Brony fandom? And if
hope
they
No,
do,
That entirely
effects-
depends on the quality.
well, let's just assume that it's like a good quality for the second point. And if they come back, is that something that we're going to be super interested to see? Is a lot of people who have left to go on to other communities potentially rushing back to this
no,
one?
I'm gonna put money on Kalshay and say no.
I think it's a mixed bag anyway, because it's like you're going to have a lot of new friends, if you will. And you're going to either have to catch them up a lot, or they're going to bring a whole nother, and they're going to try and change a lot of stuff about the community, water it down, or things like that.
In all fairness,
mean,
it's
could.
already been happening with G4 being out, with the whole TikTok fandom, all of that. Things are getting watered down no matter what. This is the internet we're talking about, the modern internet.
Oh, I know.
While having a new generation could accelerate this process, perhaps by just getting more eyes on the property. I don't really think it's gonna change that much in the grand scheme of things. The fandom is bigger than any one generation at this point. So
The thing is, you have to ask yourself how many people left the fandom because of the quality of the show, or how many people left the fandom because they just don't want to be part of the fandom itself anymore. Because it's absolutely true that the fandom itself has evolved past the show to an extent. Like it's a mutual agreement that we have basically at this point, but it's worth a lot more over the course of the years. We've contributed a lot more than just the base show itself. So anybody leaving, and people have stuck through with the fandom despite a decrease in quality with G4, despite anything that's going on with G5, and they absolutely still will. This whatever happens with G6. Will people that have left willingly come back after G6, even if it ends up being good? I don't know. Probably not that much. It could happen, but I don't think it's a significant. I think it's a significant factor at all.
Well, I mean, part of the thing that a lot of people came for was it was a hot thing. Had a lot of buzz. It was a community. There was a lot of people that came strictly for the community and had maybe tacit interest in the show. And the question is going to be, are they going to see this and think, oh, wow, that thing is back? Wow, okay, yeah, community, woohoo, parties, cons, let's go. And they're not really there for the show or anything. They're there for
themselves.
I mean, just like the furry fandom, they don't really have a show that they conglomerate about. It's literally, they're all there pretty much for the community.
It'll absolutely
they're all there just to be cute and to look cute.
The furry fandom is not a fandom per se. It's an amorphous blob of pseudo-culture that sort of congeals around particular proclivities. There's no central ethos. There's no central media. It's very.
I would
much
argue
an umbrella term.
Disney is pretty much their cornerstone. So
Yeah, and look where that's going.
Well, the big thing is the origin points are very different, where theirs are a bit more broad, because the concept of an anthropomorphized animal or something like that, it's a very broad concept, so they're kind of on a quest for legitimacy sometimes, where basically they'll say, hey guys, what is it? This is actually, you ever notice this thing they do where it's like, hey, you know this thing that you like, it's actually furry or whatever, or something like as a gotcha.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, that the big thing is, but that comes from a point of like, hey, if more things are considered in that umbrella term, then maybe they would catch less flack, or it would be considered more normal. Whereas bronies, on the other hand, they knew from day one. I mean, it's also very central to G4, My Little Pony, boom, very defined. And then there's the community attached to it. But with that, it's they kind of went in knowing that it's like they're not looking to be considered really normal, because they just knew walking in the door, it's like, yeah, this is going to be weird, grown men, kids show, that so there's really no desire so like there's no like the desire for it to be normalized or what have you is just not there by comparison, which I would say is definitely a major strength, as it's just like with the other, they're able to be pressured more from the outside, whereas the other is a bit more rigid in a positive way.
Yeah, no, I think one of the, I'd say for the slash MLP portion of the community, for at least the period where it was really holding strong, one of the best things was that it wasn't super accessible, because that allowed it to maintain its own identity and community within itself. And I think when you get a major influx, it's not necessarily a bad thing to have new people coming in. I mean, obviously you need fresh blood, but if you get too many coming in at once, then the identity of the group that is there becomes shattered, fractured.
As ever, gatekeeping is essential.
Yeah, to a degree, yeah, it absolutely is.
And gatekeeping is an immune system, and people who can around abolishing it are really just trying to give every community AIDS. So
I think that, you can be naive, but I think our community is safe from that, at least as it is right now. Who knows what can happen down the line?
Oh no, well, what do you say is our community? I guess I should ask.
Well, I mean, if you mean specifically the more MLP, like slash MLP side of the fandom, I think it's obviously not what it was. I mean, I don't even need to say that, but I don't think we're at risk of, well, like you said, the gatekeeping part being broken and the floodgates opening. That's not going to happen. As for the fandom at large, I don't expect it to gain that much in popularity, especially now. And I think even Hasbro knows that, which is why they're not diverting so much budget into this new little venture. It's not going to be a huge thing regardless. I think it's not niche, but it's not going to be. We're never going to get G4 popularity ever again. That's, I think, something that everybody should just accept.
Right.
It would take an act of Celestia to make that happen, but
Oh no, yeah.
Powers of the
What it
sun.
will be is it will be just a return of like people who watched it, just like the nostalgia trend. Hey, I was a part of the Brony fandom back when I was in my 18s or teens or something like that. Oh, I want to go relive those old days. Let's come back, something like that. But it won't be
what
like
the
maybe
frick is
a third.
Sparkle.
But here's the other thing. It's like a lot of the people that dropped it, it's like, some of them, I guess when people are like, oh yeah, it was way more popular, the absolute heyday, the most people, it's like when you realize it's like a lot of it was a little vapid, where it's like people that kind of came in because something was like popular, the new hotness, if you will.
We call
But,
them
they didn't really stick around.
They didn't stay for the ride. Their ride ended. They can't get back on.
Of course they can. You just have to choose that. Right, never ends.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, I think that it will have an impact on this corner. I'm going to be real with you. I think the /MLP side of the community has already seriously shifted in the past 3 years.
I've noticed that.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I think we could pinpoint what the cause is, but nevertheless, I think the doors have been breached.
What would you say is the cause? Because vague posting is all well and good, but
No, that's fair. That's a fair. I mean, I think it's attributable to Mare Fair. Mare Fair was a success. Mare Fair really showed that the /MLP part of the community could pull off an interesting and fun event, especially at a time and period where a lot of the establishment conventions were slowly fading out just because of the social factors that run those conventions, like the board of directors becoming non-functional of some of those conventions, and then as a result, the convention just becoming inoperable, even if there was an appetite for it. Whereas, Mare Fair is this hot new thing that came up. It's like the first hot new con in a long time.
and they can't tear it down, no matter how hard they try.
Amen.
And it's good to see. So I hate to be a silly goober, but what did I miss during that little bit of that downtime before Mare Fair? There, because my power took crap, and just booting everything up right now.
You're still kind of in robot mode, so
Oh my goodness.
Oh, dang.
Get this robot out of here.
One moment.
Micers in this podcast.
I think you're good.
Say that right.
Anyway, we're just talking about how the fandom shifted around Mare Fair's rise and what happened in the gap between the show ending and Mare Fair starting, I suppose.
Death, destruction, isolation, and
Alright,
TrotCon.
Yes.
I have questions about the
Yep.
MLP.
Not sure if I'm coming through properly or not, but
Oh, you're coming. You're coming, all right.
alright, well, that's good to know. Guess I'll have to change my pants. But till then, gosh, just waiting on my internet to come back up on my computer so I can actually see what we're working with here.
We're not working with a lot. We're sort of doing this off the cuff.
Yeah, man, you guys lost the captain for a moment. Golly gee, come on, internet.
Ollie.
Oh no. That let's see.
Cozy glow virus.
Oh no. That Yeah, so with the popularity of it and all that, but it's good with the community how it was able to get its own board identity with the what's it? With its own filtering process, because in order to get to the /NLP side of the fandom, you'd have to be internet savvy enough.
You have to be a elite hacker to find your way to the fortunes.
I mean, not anymore.
Yeah, you got
I'm gonna
to
be
know
real.
that hacker 4chan,
There was a thread recently that I say recently, it's been a couple weeks now that I saw, and it was, man, it just really stood out to me, even from the, oh no, did we lose him again?
Forget about it and tell your story.
So I remember, what was it, like 2-3 years ago at the very least, maybe more than that. I remember seeing about somebody obviously new did a little bit of name friending, and
when it's a suffix,
when he got torn apart on there, understandably, that's how the board was and such. But I recently saw somebody else kind of come in. Not only are they doing named posts, they're naming themselves in their posts repeatedly, but they're also even doing like their OC in pictures as they like post, and nobody's mentioning. Well, I think I saw 3 posts in like the 200 posts in that thread, 300 posts that even reference that. And this is the poster of the thread doing this, who's like naming himself and things like that unnecessarily. It was kind of just like such a wow. Things have really changed.
Was the OC a pony, or was it some non-pony creature?
Oh, it was a pony. It was a pony. But I mean, if you want to get me started on something, the rise of hybrids, that's a topic that you can get me going on.
Oh boy, let's break out Toy Box or Toy House, wherever those guys post their stuff.
Look, a mare is a mare. You can't read her with something else.
Very grim how some people treat originality as taking an existing design and making it worse.
Oh my
exactly.
God. Taking it in a design and making it worse. Where in the world is Carmen Sandy Tamers right now?
I guess nobody really cares about Tamers.
I don't know. 1 million views. I don't know. That's just a lot for any content, especially horse content of all.
I guess the third world provides a great quantity of fart fags. I don't know.
How about
What is this, a Tamers reference?
How about we refrain from using gamer words?
No, it's a suffix.
But
what
anyway,
are we gonna do about Tamers? Anyway,
all right. Now that I'm back and at my stuff, I was curious. Not curious. Sorry, wrong introduction. So, so recently we had an artist pass. Not good. Why did I do that?
Oh my God!
But yeah, I believe it was Kavari, or I'm sorry, bad at names. Really, it's crazy. Let's see. I discovered their art post mortem, sadly, which it's really something when you discover it after the fact, because it's like you're not only did you lose like, a great artist, it's like, oh, now it's kind of like capped off. This person, is no longer with us. But the one good thing about like this community is like, people from around the world know. And, sorry, just what is it? Fumbling the bag here. How about you guys?
I mean, I've been seeing her art, and I apologize. I don't want to butcher her name, of course, but I've been seeing a lot of the art on my feed myself, and I mean, a lot of it is, to me, representative of so much of the. It gives off a lot of that early wonder that I had towards the pony world in general. I think her art captures that feeling very well. And the idea, I mean, of course, I mean, she will be missed and her impact will be missed, I would say. A lot of it's beautiful stuff.
Absolutely. Like I was just looking over some of it and I'm just like, oh my goodness, like insanely good, great detail, like very high caliber, like you always lose the good ones, don't you?
It captures that like expansive feel, like when I got into the fandom early on, like it felt like the pony world was like there was so much more to explore. There was like a sense of wonderment, not in the sense of like freaking like lore or whatever. I'm not talking about like half-hour YouTube videos, but like just the idea of like potentiality of like wanderlust and adventure. A lot of it captures that, and I think some of my favorite pony art just in general captures that kind of feeling of Equestria being like a lived-in place, a real place. I should post some, actually. I think I have some saved. If you guys have some too, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
It's like the way she did her backgrounds was like you personally would want to live in them. You know what I mean? It's
like
just
life,
astonishing. A lot of artists I've noticed, like they have a hard time sometimes with backgrounds or things like that, or it's usually left blank. These backgrounds alone, the background itself is like enough. You know what I mean? And then bring ponies in, it's insane. I remember this one. It was had something of a knight pony, and it was really well put together. Like you could even see with a lot of the ones on screen now, it's just going through Blue Sky. We really lost a major player. Goodness.
It's for better or worse, it's nice to put a name to the art. It is quite nice art. I feel like something we take for granted a lot of the time is just how many dedicated artists we have in this fandom, and some of them hailing from less, I shall say, less anglophonic nations that don't naturally interact with the rest of the fandom as much. So it can kind of feel like there is all of this art, all of these pony friends doing their own thing on the other side of the world. And I feel like in times like this, it's good to remember that wherever we come from, we all still love ponies, and we love what ponies represent. So, hats off to you, Kaveri. May you enjoy your time in Equestria.
Indeed. Definitely wonder how we could find more ways to bridge the gap between the two, because it's like it could be really interesting because it's almost like each one kind of somewhat grew in their own directions, if I could guess. And having them come together, it could really be something big,
Yeah, I mean, just looking at mlpcon.info Russia has pony conventions. They have dedicated Fallout Equestria cons. So there is a large and dedicated fandom there, just a bit out of sight for the Western internet.
Bro, Russia pumps out artists like something else, like damn good artists. I don't know, maybe it's like the oppressive communism just makes people really good or something. I don't know, but wow. It's a real shame that there's the whole language and international barrier divide.
I was going to say, we do have a lot of auto translators, and I heard they've been getting better over the years. So, that might help bridge that gap a little bit. And hey, maybe couldn't hurt to be bilingual.
Oh, no, I've tried. Actually, here, you guys want to learn a phrase in Russian that will be useful, will be applicable to you?
All right. Lay it on me.
I'm going to probably say this wrong, so forgive me, all the Russian speakers, but "eta krasiva," I believe is how you say it. And that's how you say that's a beautiful picture, or really is like that's beautiful, I think.
Yeah. Это красиво.
It's closer to that. Like krasiva, that's beautiful or pretty. I speak a little bit myself, not a lot, not enough to translate. I can't read it, but krasiva is a good way to describe a lot of her work. Yeah.
So you run into. Actually, funny enough, the reason why I learned that phrase in Russian is because there was this Russian artist, pony artist, in a Discord call that I was with. I couldn't speak a lick of Russian, so I'm Googling how to say stuff in Russian, so that way I can be like, wow, that's nice, that's great. And for her part, she would try and say some English phrases here and there.
Yeah, that's...
Pretty sure she's in a place where she can understand all the languages now.
Mm-hmm. That's very nice. And Kaviri does... she did feature a lot of very красивые кобылы in her art. Very pretty mares.
No matter where you go, no matter what you do, the mares bridge the gap.
Oh, absolutely. And even then, oddly enough, from what I could gather, Russians and Americans really, just the average people generally are not as different as people would believe. In many ways, have far more in common than you'd think.
Really, just
so pretty.
What you mentioned before about Russia pumping out artists, I feel like a lot of it might have to do with how, when your surroundings are gray and gloomy, you seek comfort in things like My Little Pony, and you imagine just a world of wonder out there. And, I'm glad Kaviri had that escape, and I'm glad she was able to give us so much art in her time.
That it's really, really one thing I notice a lot is a lot of trekking and adventuring in it, which is really something, It's like backgrounds were insane though. Like she really do a lot of backgrounds, the detail, knowing which areas need more detail versus others. It's like some artists they'll overfixate on a lot of things and overwhelm themselves.
Mm-hmm.
The way I like it is that, like, from the beginning, so much of what I like about the show, what I loved about the show from the beginning was of course the characters and the personalities, and how they bounce off of each other. So with that so well developed, it felt like, with that like being the focus, the outer world was kind of left to its own devices. Like, we go on adventures, sure, with the ponies, we go on little quests and friendships and whatnot, right? But so much of that was left to our imaginations, which is so much of why the fandom took off in such a crazy way that it did. With the background ponies too, the same concept. With the things that weren't explored enough, we filled in the blanks. And truth be told, that's, I guess, some of the problems with the later seasons in my mind, where I think they tried to fill in the blanks themselves a bit too much, and it kind of made the world not as expansive. But I think so much, but like I said, so much of what pony art that I really like kind of is about that, kind of like people's interpretation of, hey, we are in Equestria too. This is something that we can, explore together. Not just Twilight, but maybe Twilight and I, stuff like that.
In your dreams, buddy. But
Well,
no,
maybe not Twilight, but Fluttershy, definitely. She would go on adventures with me. I'm just saying.
Ah, okay, all right.
Well, anyway.
Yeah, no, I mean, to build on to your point, like, one of the things that I think was fantastic about MLP is it was a completely different world. I mean, a lot of shows, especially like of that kind, of that demographic, are just basically based in ours with just a lot of nonsensical elements put onto it, to where it's not a very fully realized world. It doesn't have a lot of verisimilitude, if I can say that. And one of the beauties about MLP is that it had that. It had a lot of that like internal logic to it, and it felt very realized, even if it wasn't explained. I don't know. Yeah, it was a beautiful world that we could see, if only we could touch.
Well, we can try and get close with art, with the.
Oh, buddy, I'm going to be taking the express
whatever.
ride to Equestria here.
Every time we make someone smile, every time we share a good memory, Equestria gets a little bit closer. Think of it like that. That's the way I do.
Every cheeseburger I eat, Equestria gets a little closer.
That's why I order the 20 nuggets, not just the 8. Every little bit counts.
Oh man, maybe we should. I guess what is it, like your weight is an indication of how close you are to Equestria?
Oh my god.
I mean, well, if Warbler was here, I'm sure he could say something about, like, mass to snow.
Warbler would back me up on this.
But
Warbler would be there.
I'm just saying, the larger the horse,
What am I doing?
It makes sense theoretically if you do the math.
Oh, so they have that in your textbooks or what?
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think that they teach this in school, but like, I mean, you can just kind of extrapolate it based on context clues. It's like, if you like put your hand over a fire, like you feel that it's hot, you see a big mare, that there's a lot of potential there, a lot of friendship inside that. So yeah, it's like that.
Yeah, I mean, they gotta have room for the snow pity. Come on, man, think about it.
Exactly.
That so there was talk about plushies possibly being released. Symbiote having a few.
I saw I saw like little pictures of the sleeping ones. I only saw like one though, but they look cute.
Absolutely, I'll have to pull a little something.
They're also doing a bunch of like the rest of the Equestria Girls ones, but I'm not as interested in those as the others.
Yeah, most aren't, but let's see. I'm getting a Mod Pie in there debut this year. Oh, it was at San Diego Comic-Con. That's pretty nifty. Ooh, a derpy. All right, well, are the eyes derpy?
I just like the male mare out.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Oh yeah, the outfit is awesome. I got a friend of mine. He's a big Derpy fan, and that's one of his biggest complaints is with the eyes. Usually, that people don't derp the eyes enough.
We can assume that they're mid derp.
Hopefully, yeah. unless they cheaped out and just went with like normie eyes. Oh, let's see. We have another angle. Not as derp. That
You should post it.
it's on the screen.
It's there. It's on screen. If you don't want to log into Twitter, the different front end.
Hey. We're getting plushies, okay? We're getting plushies.
Yes, we are.
There was a mod one, I believe, too. I'll have to double check the chat. That's pretty nifty. Ooh, even comes with a rock. Even comes with her pet rock.
I'm gonna be
They
honest.
really added the extra details with mod, though.
Yeah, she always got a lot of undeserved attention.
Man, they didn't derp the eyes, but they sure could give. They got mod the rock. They got the unamused look.
It's because she's a writer's pet. They took this character, retconned her in, messed up the whole Pie family dynamics, and for what? So they could have a little spurgy pony. Oh, it
very monotone,
for
but
humors. Isn't that
actually
great?
does the opposite. Actually does the opposite of that. She's very monotone.
Yeah, she's monotone.
It's the autism horse among. Well, she's slightly more autistic than the other autistic horses, so
Yeah, I mean,
she has the
she's not
introverted
exactly
version.
neurotypical by herself. So I feel like making the rest of her family mental midgets is it makes me wonder how closely related Cloudy Quartz and Igneous Rock Pie were.
Well, listen, I mean, I'm sure they were homeschooled on the rock farm. I mean, I don't know what public schooling is like. I don't recall if they went into that, if they elaborated on that.
Guess room for the imagination.
Yes. And hey, you can take Boulder from mod and throw it at your derpy, if you so desire.
So there was talk about the Sunshine Pony Convention.
Oh yeah, that. Nobody. I think I'm the only one here that went to that. I didn't really see a lot of other people there.
Well, it's a shame a lot of us didn't get to go, but I'm glad we have
you
people
went
that
to
did.
that?
I did go. Well, it would be shameful of me to not go to a con that's in my home state.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Tell us about it. How was it? What was it
All
like?
right. Well, Sunshine Pony Con, Atlantic City, $65. That's the gimmick. It's the second year one con that I went to this year outside of NACON. I would say that I am biased towards NACON. I did have a bit more fun with that. The vibes were a bit more cozy, to put it mildly. But I'm sure there's more descriptive words I could use. But Sunshine Pony Con, I think, was a good attempt at a year one con that's just more family friendly and everything. I will say, well, here, let me list the cons. The venue was atrocious. I don't care what anybody had to say about what you call it. I know people had complaints about the Lord Baltimore Hotel. I know people had complaints about the urban sprawl, which I think personally are a little bit overblown in NACON. But all of the
Elevators
complaints
were atrocious.
I mean, no. Well, here we also had elevator problems. Funny enough, we had multiple breakdowns. Nobody threw up, unlike NACON, but They were just as bad here, and the venue itself was really not good. That was just the one common complaint among staff and attendees alike, was that it was not fun. The venue itself was not really good. The floor itself, where everything was held, it was pretty nice and compact, so that was kind of nice. But everything else about the venue was like, going outside. Like, you're either on your left, you have like soulless casinos, and on your right, you have just like detritus. It's downright post-apocalyptic what it looks like over there. And I'm from Jersey, so I can say that.
You have a frame of reference.
It's not good. It's not good. I mean, I know the boardwalk is like right there. Sure, there's always the novelty of the boardwalk, but like, it's not. It wasn't worth it. The one commonality that everyone liked about the venue, or that everyone that partook in it, I should say, was that there was a smoking lounge and a dispensary right in the hotel, which I didn't make use of myself, but people made use of that in spades. I will say. So that was one, I guess, positive, if you want to say that. But honestly, it's not worth everything else. The con itself, somebody posted the con. I see. Thank you for posting the con book here. I should actually post one of my pictures that I took. Let me see. I tried keeping the thread alive as best as I could. There were like 2 or 3 other anons there at the venue. Let me see. 1 second. I wanted to find one picture that I particularly liked. Oh, this one right here. This one's funny. I think like the schedule itself was pretty average for a year one con. Like, it wasn't anything particular. Like, I think they should have gone harder into like jokey panels, considering a lot of their marketing was very like silly. And I will say, like, like, they had like some high energy PR throughout, like before the con, during the con. Like, people, they knew how to make use of their mascots, and they knew how to make use of like kind of like the vibe that they kind of were trying to cultivate. I like that, and I admire the effort there. They had a lot of good merch. They had a lot of good vendors. I got some good Andy Price was there, by the way. I didn't expect that for a year one con, but they managed to get Andy Price.
Nice.
What else? The concerts it was a pretty decent lineup. It could have been maybe a bit more pony focused, but I had fun there. I actually got to do a impromptu charity auction. Funny enough, their charity auction took place on a Saturday rather than a Sunday, so that was kind of an interesting choice. But everything worked out. Funds were donated to the charity of choice was the I don't remember the name. Wilson's Disease Association. It's, I think, a nice neutral choice. It's not really just raising money towards. Yeah, it's
compared with some other charities. Yes, it is very agreeable.
Yeah, and it was. I mean, both the charity, but there were 2 like impromptu. Like, one was the main charity auction, which was on the Saturday, and then a very surprise one and the closing ceremonies where they actually decided to sell like the mascot standees and the the room banners and whatnot. I don't know if they planned that to begin with, but it didn't really seem planned based on what they told me.
There's kind of a reason why the charity auction it's kept to the very end of the con, just so people have all the time in the world to source every last bit of charitable donations for.
Yeah, having to be on a Saturday was a little bit strange, but I will say, if there's one thing, actually a highlight from that auction, is that somebody sold a piece of, I'm posting it here in the chat here as well, the old BronyCon shrine, or what was left of the old BronyCon shrine. So it was like a big box just filled with all of these loose papers, loose art, coloring, notes, letters, everything of that sort. Just to give away, and what got me, I think that one sold for like surprisingly cheap. It sold for, I think, just under $200, and I was having a discussion with the guy, first of all, the guy that put it up for auction, and some of the other head ponies in charge at the con, and they were like, if you sent this to Everfree or to Mare Fair, this would easily go for like over like a couple grand. That's what they said, and I think there's a decent chance that might have been the case, but for like $200 for something like that, for a piece of history like that, I'm surprised it went for that low. Regardless, though, it's nice that it's someone has it, and that someone, I talked to that guy, and he said he was going to scan them and upload them onto the internet, which is good. I think preservation in that regard is good, especially since a lot of the messages were, a lot of the little notes you can see here are very heartfelt. I like that kind of stuff. I'm a sap for that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, it was a cozy con. I think I would be definitely interested to see how they progress with a year two. It all depends, like how they follow. A lot of it will depend on the venue, I will say. But I think that a lot of the people involved have their hearts in the right place, and I'm glad that I went. I don't really regret it.
Wasn't this the con that split off from? What's that one called? Somebody help me remember.
Sequestria Fest. Sequestria.
Yeah. Well, I say split off. I mean, where basically Sequestria kind of imploded, and this one was started up in its place.
Yeah, I didn't ever really care about much of the drama in that regard. Like from that aspect, I never went to a Sequestria myself, but I will say that whatever was salvaged from that, I think all the right people left that, and they left with the right energy to handle this con. Like, I'll say all the staff, everybody involved was incredibly high energy, and they really wanted to make something like good of it. Like, there was nobody felt like something was going bad, or if they did a very good job of hiding it, because I think that everybody really kind of brought their A game, even if it wasn't like a huge affair. I think the final attendee count was less than NACON. I know NACON got 320 something. This one was definitely under 200, or under 300. Sorry, under 300. But regardless, it was a good effort from everybody. Everybody really put their heart into it, and I'm glad to see another con just pop up. Especially something that, like I said, is close nearby to me. I certainly wouldn't mind seeing more of that if it happens. I missed. I know Hearthwarming Club was last year, but I missed that one. I wouldn't mind going to a second one if that ever popped up next year.
No.
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 That
is not going to happen again.
Oh, really? I didn't know about that. I was only, like I said, I'm only interested because it's close to me. I don't mind going to things that I can actually drive to.
I'm talking about Hearthwarming Club, just to be clear.
Yeah, I know.
I think it's so bad, believe it or not.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, though, as I had heard very repeatedly, that was a one-time thing.
Oh, okay. Well, that's hey. Some things are, who knows? Some things are better as one-offs. Who am I to say? But I think for something like Sunshine, a lot of people there are. I think the people involved were interested in a year two, though obviously it is very, very early to say anything about that. So I'm not going to make any comments. But like I said, I like the energy that they brought, and a lot of the fan material that they cultivated. Like they had a big art team, and they invited a lot of people to make art for them, like just in the Discord server, on their socials. I thought that was really nice to see. Like, there was a lot of engagement in that regard, and a lot of that translated into things like funny little bits at the con. Nothing huge, of course, but for example, tons of ribbons with fan attendee designs on them. Stuff like that, just a lot of in jokes about some of the mascots. I think that worked out well. Like I said, it's a good attitude goes a long way, even if stuff there could have been maybe a couple more interesting panels, or maybe there could have been a better venue, for example. But a good attitude goes a long way, and that's appreciated. So yeah,
sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
I was going to say,
we're going to con. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
That those things come along, you know what I mean? In due time, those things shouldn't be too hard to cultivate.
Exactly. Especially, like I said, especially if you're coming into it with high energy, which they did, and I hope that I hope they maintain that down the line if they decide to continue. I think they could. I very much think they could, and maybe who knows, not having a future venue on the boardwalk could maybe even save a little bit of money because that's definitely something that they mentioned. Maybe making it more accessible, more affordable, that could even bring in more people. So hey, I'm rooting for them. I would say I'm rooting for them.
Yeah,
Hey, I'll
Yeah,
be
no,
rooting for
organizing a
anybody,
con is
man.
it's a real challenge. So they pulled it off once, they could do it again.
And also, again, they're able to get a gauge on the region, things like that. And they could figure, okay, yeah, the boardwalk. I thought having it on the boardwalk would have been actually a really good idea, but you mentioned actually, I was actually looking at it either last go around or at some point, and I was like, oh, boardwalk, that's like a lot of potential, but apparently the location was not quite that. But on the face, it looked like a stellar choice.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say like the theme of the con, which is like what you call it, like fun in the sun, boardwalk adventures. Like it's a nice theme. Don't get me wrong, but funny enough, in Jersey, we actually had not only a combination of really bad weather, but also a lot of smog coming in from some frickin' Canadian wildfires. So that whole weekend was not really so much fun in the sun as much was just choking on pollution on the outside. So that was that was a bit of a kick to the teeth there, but like I said, at least the vibes inside were decent.
Yeah. Thanks again, syrup sippers. But let's see. But it's really good though. And even in spite of all of that, it still came out to be a pretty good con, I'd imagine. And again, with
Yeah,
the panels, they're
yeah.
definitely going to be able to.
Exactly. Yeah. I have nothing. I just think it could have been like just a little bit more personally, but I think that's just a me being like spoiled on the vibes of Nacon. I'm really, like I said, I think it was a great effort all around on the sunshine part, and a year two would definitely be better. Like we're on the same page there. Yeah.
Things are looking up.
Things are looking mares.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
would
So
say
I'm happy in that regard, and yeah, that was my last con before Mayor Fair. Mayor Fair.
that's going to be exciting, you know? You driving or flying?
I'm flying myself. I drive to Baltimore. I can do a drive to Jersey within Jersey. I can do, but Florida, no, that would take another whole day of driving, and I don't want to use the PTO on that. I'd rather use that on actual mayor time at the con. So I'm gonna fly.
That's a certified troop right there. How
And
about
yeah,
you? How about you, Grok? You flying or driving?
I guess I'm flying.
And Metal, you flying or well, I'd assume you're flying.
yeah, most likely.
Yeah, I don't know if you could really physically drive any. I don't even know if that's like an option there at that point.
Uh, Probably not. I don't think they have any driving paths across the Atlantic. I'll
not
look.
Yeah,
yet.
just one more lane in the Atlantic.
Yeah, definitely a lot of people finalizing their plans right now. And here's your reminder, if you haven't figured out how you're getting to Mayfair yet, do it. Because prices are only going to get, especially if you're going by plane, prices are only going to increase.
And especially you won't have what you call it. You won't have Spirit to help you out anymore. So
Yeah,
that's another shame. Not like
yeah,
last year.
man. Do Frontier in this household. Oh no, are we going to get a bunch of Spirit refugees onto Frontier now?
I mean, they're going to disperse everywhere, but then again, everything is kind of well, not equally expensive, but equally overpriced. Like no matter where you go. So I'm sure they'll just kind of disperse everywhere.
Yep. I remember I had something like that happen recently. Yeah, they really went everywhere. What we had was like a containment zone for the less than ideal customers. And then that place shut down, and then they just dispersed all over the tri-state industry there. And golly gee, they're like, so when's the place going to open up again? People from the businesses around.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least I actually got my flight like months in advance rather than last year's Mayor Fair where I got it like weeks in advance. So that's a big plus. Yeah, basically, long story short, plan ahead. Don't leave anything to last minute.
Yeah,
Sorry. Unless you want to, unless you really think it's worth it, but just be careful.
I got hit with EP beams, and me and my boys slept through our alarm, and we had to get a flight the same day. So we paid for our prior flight, and then we had to buy another set of tickets because it was at 5 a.m. and it's 4:30. It takes 45 minutes to get there, and then that hasn't even considered TSA yet. And then we're just sitting in the living room, just contemplating.
Suicide?
Huh? Yeah.
Make sure you are all well rested before your respective flights, before your respective trips, because you will not be getting any sleep in Orlando. You will be busy partying with the mayors.
Exactly.
What we should have done was just drive to the airport, sleep in the car, and set our alarms an hour beforehand. But that requires forethought and a little elbow grease, and we were short of that night.
Yeah, a bit of free gaming.
No, actually, it was a case of got there, we got everything set, and it's like, okay, all right, we got 5 hours of sleep. Okay, great, cool. Or not 5 hours, it was 4 or whatever. Yep.
Yeah.
We should have just pulled an all-nighter. We should have just pulled an all-nighter, quite frankly.
You could have, but let me tell you, carrying a sleep debt into a PonyCon can be pretty damn miserable. It's best to, I know this is gonna sound ridiculous, absurd, but try and get a proper night's rest before the con. And if you are having an overnight flight, especially if you're flying across the Atlantic, get some rest on the plane, because it's a lot on anybody. It's a big toll on anybody to just survive Mayor Fair, survive Orlando, a full weekend of Mayor debauchery in Orlando. So don't give yourself a handicap right off the bat by getting there exhausted.
Well, but that pretty well expends our list of topics, unless you goobers have anything to really throw in.
Mayors.
Mayors, yeah. Well, that's it. I've been Dusty, and gold medal. Anything? Well, I know I already just asked the community broadly, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's been nice joining you guys. Hopefully we have some great news next time. And
all right, Grok.
It's been fun.
And Solo.
Thank you for the lovely Tuesday night of pony fun. I hope all of you guys have a lovely evening, and thank you, Mayors.
Mayors indeed. And this has been Mare On Air, and I'll be signing off.
This has been Mare On Air, live on Friendship Incorporated. I had this whole rant and depresso ending planned out, but looks like that'll have to wait for another time because the bad times have been delayed. So, as of right now, there will still be a next time.